Hi, this is Dr.ChitraAravind and I'm very happy to meet all of you, and after a long time I'm making a video in English based on your request. So now the board exams are going on. I think this video will be very useful for parents as well as the students who are attending the board exams, be it 10th or 12th, and also who is getting ready for the competitive exams to come. So now this crisis period, I should say, even because exams and tests are always perceived as a major source of fear by students as well as by the parents more nowadays. And we could see the transition between online and offline is getting more and more stressful. Even before also the tests were very stressful, especially we could even predict some suicides happening during this board exam results and all that stuff. But now the stress is even more because the transition between this online and offline education and suddenly seeing the classrooms and lot of transition, the students go on adapting to the changes, and thankfully at least 3 to 4 months students have the real-time experience at the school campus before they could appear for this board exams. That's one fortunate thing which had happened to the students, but still we can't underestimate the kind of fear and anxiety the whole family is undergoing when the students are actually appearing for the board exams, because the term board exams itself is so threatening for most of the students because of the lot of weightage which is attached to it. Now the society is becoming even more competitive, and obviously there are students who are who are like prepared to get more than like 99.8. So this is the kind of competition all your kids are actually forced to actually take place in such competitive world. So eventually the parents as well as the society, and because of all these pressures are finally laid on the shoulders of the poor children. So when they are going to take up these exams, we can't avoid something called as test anxiety. So they will be under tremendous test anxiety, and I've seen in my counseling experience that few students, even they are not ready to even appear for the exams because of the fear. So we could see a lot of spike in depression, anxiety, and students refusing to go to school because they are not ready to appear for their exams. And the more irony of it is, it's not about the dull students, it's about the best students, so-called best students, like who are getting 95 plus, are actually even more under the fear of not even able to appear for the exams. And you could be wondering about the reasons why is it happening, because obviously even if they could appear now, they can easily get 80, 85. But then the problem is that their fear is that they need to be always number one. And when we probe little deep into this fear of the students, why they're not able to appear for this, because of the impression they've created. See, during this online, the tests were so easy, and you know what really happened when these kind of online tests going on, and a lot of students got more than 80, 90 and all that. So this had already left an impression in the minds of teachers and their friends that okay, this student is capable of getting this much marks. And now when they're going to take up the real-time exam, and I'm sure they won't be getting the similar marks what they got during the online. So this kind of issues, and also the peer pressure, and also they could compare themselves with the peers who are not even a good student, but now they are getting more marks, but then I'm only getting like 85 plus. So these kind of comparisons, and finally students have actually forgotten the real meaning behind this education, and time to again give an insight about why we are actually writing the exams, and why first of all the so-called test came into practice. Actually, test came into practice only to test your knowledge, and all this education, schools, all the major reason for all this is to overall development of a child. Not only in terms of education, and also in terms of emotional development, moral development, and social development. But then we have forgotten all those things, and we're just looking into one aspect of the overall development called marks. And finally, that speaks louder than anything else. So parents and the society are left with no other choice to pressurize our kids today. So now also moreover, the students' real ambition or real drive behind studying so hard is not to get even the marks. It's just to look good in the eyes of their friends and eyes of their relatives and also eyes of the teachers. But this is the trend which I could see in most of the schools whenever I go for the training program as such. But then children have to really understand that they are studying only for acquiring knowledge, and this mark is not very important when it comes to job or any other thing where you're going to make your career as such. And you'll be wondering what kind of statement I'm making, because I'm sure all your teachers and all your whoever you meet would have said like you can't even lose that one mark which is going to change your destiny. But please trust me, I've been in the recruitment boards, I've been in the interview panel, and I can tell you that if a student comes with 90 plus and another student comes with 65 plus, there are a lot of chances that a student with even 65 plus getting the job. It's because not only because of the marks. Here you should understand that it's because of the soft skills, how you present yourself, how you communicate, and all of these life skills do matter. And time to even revisit those things and not only sharpen your academic skill, but then simultaneously sharpen your other non-technical skills like soft skills, especially communication skills, along with it critical thinking skills, problem solving skills, and so on and so forth. So here the students have to understand that these marks are not the deciding factors of life, and people who even got even 60 plus can definitely make a lot of difference in the society and also in the whole universe, I could say. So all these are not just the words. You can just mark these words as very important, because all of you have forgotten why we are even studying, and you're just quest for getting those marks, which is not only relevant for here at this juncture. It's not just relevant for you at this juncture. Please do understand, I'm sure for all these competitive exams, these marks make a lot of difference. But then it is always that you need to understand that you need to get that grade 98.99 or 99 point so and so to grab the seats in best colleges. Otherwise, finally you'll have to end up in other colleges with management seats only. So here the parents and children have to first understand that it is very important that need to understand the major purpose of life, that is happiness and peace and harmony. And we are just going behind the success because we want money and we want to survive in this competitive world. All of us can survive in this competitive world, not just with the marks, but with even other important aspects, that is our happiness, and happiness increases the productivity. So please understand that not just this preparation is going to give you all these accolades that what you can deserve in this life. And at this last moment of your life, like I'm not saying about like you're counting the days to die, but during this board exam times, it's not even pertinent to think about the importance of all these marks and feel bad about it and getting more anxious about the whole thing. Now you have come to the end, that is where you're going to present whatever you have studied. So you have very less time now, students. So what you have to do is just focus on very important your lifestyle practices. Most of the students do the mistake of skipping their meals, skipping their sleep, and they think that okay, sleep time, I'm getting like 6 to 8 hours, let me study and cram before the exams. But that's a very, very poor practice, and lot of researchers have proven that this kind of cramming a day before the exam, that is the night before the exam to be more precise, is never going to be helpful for the children to even present in the paper, because your cognitive skills, your retention, your memory, your concentration, your attention, everything is going to be affected because of cramming before a day without getting proper sleep, because sleep is mandatory for your cognitive skills to recollect the information whatever you have studied. So it's very important, students, to get that 6 to 8 hours of sleep a day before the exams, and obviously in this whole month when you're taking the exam, and also to focus on your personal life also. It's not that you need to always keep studying 6 to 8 hours or even 12 hours. I see some students studying. No problem, you study whatever time you want to study, but then you have to take at the least 1 hour for your own self. Let it be some cardio, let it be like cycling or jogging or even walking for that matter. It's very important that you take the time off to de-stress yourself. Only then you can give a better presentation during the exams. So please keep this point in mind. And the third one is, very importantly, you need to take adequate food, nutritious food especially, and please avoid junk foods during examination. It can even result in stomach upset or any kind of body pains, or it can result in any kind of flu also nowadays during the summer climate. So you need to take good nutritious foods and also stay hydrated. So these 3 lifestyle practices if you could do, and it will take a long way towards better presentation during the exams. And one more important tip is, let's say you got an exam tomorrow morning, next day morning like 9 o'clock, and it's very important that you get a sleep and then get ready in the morning. Keep all your books, prepare well, keep all your books, bags packed ready a day before itself, because morning you may get panicky and you may forget anything important, and then that anxiety will not allow you to prepare for write the exams well. And also it's very important that in the exam hall you need to follow certain things. That is, there are students who immediately go through the paper and start writing. Please don't do that. You just get the question paper and just go through the whole question paper once. Let it take even 2 minutes time. It's okay to spend that time, because your mind map will be created, and you'll know like what are the things you know and what are the things you need to attend, and have a mental plan. Let it take even 2 to 5 minutes. It's still fine. And again, don't get panicky that you don't know 50% of the question. Maybe the 50% you know. So you can plan accordingly and appear and just choose those things what you can present well first. And one important thing is organize your thoughts before writing anything on the paper, because a lot of students struggle with this. They start writing very fast and then they forget the definition when they go to the third page. And teachers may not look into all these pages. So please write whatever you want in the more organized way. For that, just take some seconds to recollect and organize your thought, visually look into that, walk through it, and then put it onto the paper. That is going to be very helpful. And whatever come may, just keep your watch always, keep an eye on your watch always, and please time your paper. Students who are really good and who are really prepared well still do not get good marks. The major reason is they are very poor in time management, that is especially during writing their papers. And they would have written the papers thoroughly very well for all the 5 marks, 2 marks, 1 mark, and finally they would have missed this 10 mark or 15 marks very easily, because of lack of time, for which the answers are very well known to the students, and they may feel very upset after the exam. So it's very important to time your paper, and if you think the time has crossed, just stop that question and go appear for another question. Maybe you at least will get 50% of the marks, whatever the marks is given for the particular question, so that at least you can appear for all the questions. You can write for all the questions and you need not miss on those information. So you need to have this time clarity in your head, and also make sure you tie your paper and keep everything ready at least 5 minutes before the time is off. So it's very important that you keep yourself organized and not messy, and even that 5-10 minutes before, you need to be prepared and just go through whatever you've written. Maybe there may be some silly mistakes, because we can make all mistakes. Like you could have made some mistakes in 1 mark or 2 mark, and it's time to correct it. So even if you have not finished your paper completely, take time to go through your paper and just revise it, review it, and if there is any mistake, do correct it, so that you can get more marks in those things where you just made a silly mistake. And these are important information. And even before going to the real test, I would definitely urge the students to take a mock test, and also in a particular environment which is very similar to the exam hall. Because whenever I've seen students, when I've addressed students, most of them said that they've actually panicked during the exam hall situation, where they are seeing the students who can get even more marks than them, and they could even compare, get more panicky by seeing them. All this kind of situation, novel situation, can create you a lot of uncertainty and anxiety. So what you can do is, you can create a situation which is more of like school examination situation, where there is a table and where there's a chair and where all this kind of exam papers, where you have a sample paper, and sit and write that for 3 hours, exactly like what you could write in the exam hall. This will reduce substantially your anxiety and tension, and you will be more calm when you're really seeing the exam hall and the students writing exams along with you. Because we have been into online education for a long time, and this kind of context dependent memory will also be a problem. So we have to create such situation wherein you've already practiced, and then when you're going to execute, it will be more easy. And it's very important that you're going to be punctual to the school as well. So that is a one word I should say. Time management is very important, students, and if you're prepared really well, but still if you're not able to manage time, you might lose a lot of marks. And having said all this, again reiterating my initial words, whatever best you can, just give it. And I know as a student, all this kind of negative scenarios will keep running in your head. What if I forget things? What if I go blank? What if there is no ink in my pen? Or what if I forget everything? And all this kind of confusions and negative thoughts, and what if my parents are going to yell at me once my results come? What if I'm not going to get in the good college? All these are called negative automatic thoughts, which comes to you just to tell one important message: prepare well, study well. Okay, but you've already come to the last minute stuff of the exams have already come, so whatever preparation is done, it's all said and done. So don't think back or look back and feel or regret that you wasted time. All this just gone. Just go on with it, and just understand one thing: whatever you're prepared, how much ever you're prepared, time to execute. Face your fear. Don't ever go for refusal, or don't ever you don't ever just stop yourself from giving the exams, because this is my humble request to all the students who have been having this kind of depression, anxiety about exams and failing and all that stuff. And if you're not going to appear for the exam, this is going to be a tremendous failure on part of you. And please face your failure and go attend the exam, because taking part is more important than the success and failure which is going to come as a result of it. Understand? So you need to go attend the exams, and keep one important thing in mind, that already the preparation is over, and what all you have to do is just execute it and revise it and write it well. That's the only thing you need to keep in mind. Rest, leave it in the hands of God. All you have to do is, I will give my best, let me leave the rest. So don't ever think about future scenarios or past scenarios and confuse yourself. Keep all that aside. Take your book, revise, write the precisely whatever information you want to learn, just revise, relax, and also follow those 3 lifestyle practices which I told you: eat, exercise, sleep, and then just give your best. Whatever is whatever you're prepared so far, just give it. Don't even look back or look forward into the future. I'm sure best things are awaiting you. Whatever marks you get, with all other technical skills and non-technical skills, you will definitely be able to win the seats or win the most successful career and your dream career as well. And the career is like, there are a lot of options available, and if in the worst case scenario, if you're not able to bag your seats in the best colleges, or if you're not able to end up in a course which you really wanted to do, there are multitudes of courses available. And what is more important is whether you are interested in it and whether you have the aptitude for it, and you'll be the winner there. So just forget all this, it's not important. Now all you have to do is just be ready to face your exams and face your fears and be more resilient and tough. All the very best, students, and also the parents who have been watching this video. And I'll come back with another video. If you want me to talk in any particular topic, please do suggest in the comment section. And if you've not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. All the best. Thank you so much. Bye.